Hello there, my friends. Marcus here with you for the Miles Franklin channel on Monday, November 12th. Interesting story last week, perhaps if you've already seen it, or if not, even more important then. But we do have a former JP Morgan trader pleading guilty to manipulating the U.S. metals markets for years. And certainly for those who have followed the belief that gold and silver are manipulated, which is the key driver for why the price is so low in the face of unprecedented monetary expansion and dollar printing, not just dollar printing, but printing around the globe. Ted Butler certainly comes to the top of the list in terms of reporting that JP Morgan had been engaged in some manipulative behavior. Bill Murphy of GATA has also gotten into this quite a bit. So interesting that now it is no longer conspiracy theory, but we have official court admission as John Edmonds, 36, pled guilty to 1 count of commodities fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, price manipulation, and spoofing. What's also interesting here is he said he learned how to manipulate prices from more senior traders and that his supervisors at the firm knew of his actions. Now, again, that's not just CNBC saying that, but that was actually part of the Department of Justice press release, which you can Google and see for yourself. Again, the second part there that, more senior traders and supervisors knew of what was going on, certainly indicating it's not some one-off action, but would match what we've heard from Andrew Maguire and others who have spoken about this over the years, that it was regular behavior, happened routinely. Again, I like to be careful in how I phrase things from a legal standpoint. I was not there and have not seen it, yet Edmonds was. But that certainly matches the feeling that I've had from everything I've looked at and studied regarding the manipulation. Now, whether spoofing is really at the heart of what's going on, I would say perhaps look into some of the trading records and also the unbacked paper short position. We'll see if the regulators do that. Yet in the end, whether the regulators actually take a stand and bring this to an end, or if the market does it on its own, what perhaps might be more likely to be impactful. Again, if you have the situation, which I believe we do, where there's far more paper than metal that actually exists, eventually if enough people show up demanding their metal at the same time, the conditions are in place for the short squeeze of a lifetime. And here, as more attention is placed on this, now we have a court record. So I would think this would start to catch the attention of some of the funds. I always wonder, John Paulson, for example, who had that large gold position, if a fund that has several $1 billion of investment capital were aware of what's going on in the silver market, you would sure think that there would be some interest in that. In fact, what I've found is generally most people just don't know about the things that have become a little more commonly known within the precious metals community. So certainly I think this has the potential to spread some of that awareness. And at some point you'd wonder if one fund says, geez, this is incredible, and puts some attention, demands physical metal. So how this ultimately plays out remains to be seen, although something that I think should be helpful for folks who have been following this story or investing in gold and silver and hear a lot of talk about manipulation, but wonder if that's just speculation or conspiracy theory. Keep in mind, Deutsche Bank caught trading transcripts they released were stunning. Bank of Nova Scotia was caught a couple weeks ago. And now we have a trader from JP Morgan officially on the record pleading guilty. So what I think is relevant is that the analysis has been correct. And even if the break point has not occurred yet, a helpful confirmation that all of the elements of that theory appear to be in place. So with that said, interesting story. We'll see how it plays out. Hit the subscribe button and we'll see you again soon.